Oh, we made it. We finally made it. Welcome to Scruffy City Aquatics live stream. Or I guess I shouldn't say it that way. Welcome to the Scruffy City Aquatics live stream. That's better.
Welcome, everybody.
I'm Mitch and I'm here with Tanner, and I'll put us up here so that people can see us. And welcome back. Feels like it's
Yeah,
been a little while. I was thinking about it today. I was like, when was the last time we did a live stream? Because it feels like it was months ago, but it wasn't.
it does. It was. I actually had to check because I was like, did we stream last week? Because I thought
Right.
we may have, but it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Last week, the 4th fell on a Tuesday, so we did not stream. As I assume everyone was out in their pools or at the lake or watching fireworks, and nobody wanted to
Yeah.
hear me and Mitch ramble about fish.
Or fireworks. Could have
Yeah,
had a nice fireside chat. We did a little bonfire for the evening.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I am multitasking. I was going to put some pictures up tonight, and I did not get them done. Actually, I thought about doing it, and then I was like, yeah, I think we're going to do it. And I messaged you, and then I realized the time, and I was like, oh, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I got the text. I was like, oh, yeah, I can send them. And luckily, I was on my phone, and I immediately started hitting send. But I was like, he's cutting a little close this time.
Yeah.
But
Well, and not only that, I moved a bunch of pictures from my phone over to the computer, and they're all just they went in just kind of like random, all willy nilly. So I'm trying to get them in there now.
yeah, I don't know if you have a PC or a Mac, but moving from an iPhone to a PC, like Windows format, the pictures just go random places. And I don't know if it's me or if it's just probably user error, but I'm going to blame it on the differences in systems.
Yeah. No, I do use an iPhone, and I am sending them to an old Mac. A Mac that is near the end of its life. It's starting to worry me. It can't be much longer.
I'm going to go ahead and say hey to everybody we've got. We've got Zenny, the Zen Ginger. Welcome. I hope
Hey,
you're doing
Zenny, good to
well.
see you. I just messaged you the other day. I was like, hey, just saying hey, because I haven't seen you around.
We've got TJ Autocross. Good to see you again, TJ. Hope you're doing well. Caleb Shirley. Hope you're having a good night. And Nancy B in Tennessee. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you all in the chat tonight.
What's really cool with this is that from the messages that you sent me, I can just drag and drop those into this presentation. So like those are easier than mine. I should just message them to myself. Oh, did you only send me the one of the 120 afterward after I said that? Is that the only thing I got?
Yeah, that's probably
okay.
I sent you a picture of the 120. That's the most recent one I've got. I took that like last week, I think, and then the 40 I took yesterday. It still looks. I've got a vision for it, but
okay.
For most people, the vision may be a little bit blurry.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm having to look around a screen to see a screen.
That is the tank sitting behind me. For those of you who do not know, I have been in the process of moving into a new house that we are renting, and that house has a basement. So, said basement is going to be the fish room, and just full of. I've got a fish tank on the coffee table right now. It's absurd.
That'll be good though. So you've probably got big plans, and that's what we're talking about tonight. We decided to take a break from one of our normal topics. I think eventually we're going to get back to the. So you're thinking about buying an aquarium series.
Yeah.
We do have some more ideas for that, but we've been so sporadic. We haven't stayed on it recently. And, I tried the whole arty party thing, which we'll do again. I had a lot of people say they enjoyed that. So I think it was because they all got to talk in the chat while I didn't say anything. So it was very relaxing for them. I need to practice my Bob Ross skills. Happy little
Ha-
Corys.
Happy little Corys. I'm hoping to have some happy little Corys in here, some more happy little Corys down here soon. That would be great.
All right, I got everything loaded, so we can
Fantastic.
chat now, and I'll get to this in just a moment. Oh, you know what? I didn't include. I didn't include the one thing I really wanted to include. Anyway,
Oh no.
that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're going. We're live. That's how a live show works. Oh, okay. Zinni, I see. I will look. We were talking about some carvings and stuff, so I haven't gotten back to look at it. I'm not getting this. Well, you know what? I'm getting so many notifications from the Discord that I probably just missed it. That's probably what it is.
Yeah,
What's up? Are updating those since the holiday and making me go through hoops in order to get logged in. Oh wow.
I did have to. I had to mute the Discord notifications just because my phone was blowing up so much. So
Yeah.
I probably have missed a message here and there, but we're all human.
Yeah, I've not been on things like that as much recently.
Mhm.
With June, I mean, we talked about anyone who's been to this live stream a few times. June was just crazy busy for both of
Mhm.
us, and I have not gotten back into the swing of the internet stuff. And then with the club, we've been real busy with stuff too, and getting ready for which is the slide. The thing that I meant to include and didn't was that we announced. You know what? I can bring that up on Facebook now. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Amateur.
Want to
Just
say
thinking.
welcome to Amisa and our aquatic universe with Mike B. Welcome to the stream. Hope y'all are doing well.
Good to see you. Good to have you.
Yeah.
There it goes. You know, when I say there it goes, it means it finally started.
It started the processing. Now we've got to wait 5 to 7 business days for it to process.
Yeah. Wow. Where
I
is it?
definitely think, especially for me, summertime is I'm a little less focused on the tanks. There's just so much
Yeah,
going on that the tanks sort of go into maintenance mode. Not much progression going on with
it's
them,
true.
and I want to try and I still want to try and get some stuff done, but I'm really mainly just focused on keeping things healthy and you know look at not they're not going to look their best. Wintertime is where I really dive in on the tanks, and I'm just sitting there
Yeah.
because
You
that's
know,
when
go ahead.
because that's when everything is dead and brown outside, but I have my little pieces of
Yeah.
nature inside.
Yeah. And that's what, I think that's pretty common in the hobby in
Mhm.
general is that the majority of us like to get outside. That's why we have tanks in the house.
Yeah.
We like nature. So we're getting outside a little bit more. It's why many of us start doing ponds because I
Yes.
can enjoy an aquarium out and enjoy the outside at the same time. And but the hobby in general, I know our local stores talk about how slow it gets
Hmm.
during the summertime.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely part of the hobby, and I think it makes a lot of sense. All
It
right, I
definitely
hit
does.
share.
Let's
It's
see.
thinking
Not
everything
seeing it
everything's
yet.
moving on my end, but it's not showing up there yet.
There it goes.
Oh, there we
Look
are.
at that.
Yeah, so we did announce this last week that the East Tennessee Aquatic Association's Fall Swap has been renamed to the Fall Aquatic Market. We are going to call all of our swaps moving forward the Aquatic Market. I've kind of teased that here a few times about giving it a name. And I'm really excited to have that out there now where people can start to follow it. It will be October 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's at the Fountain City Lions Club. Pretty easy to find. This
Hmm.
page over on Facebook, it is an event on Facebook, so you can search for it and put it in your things to do and find out a little bit more about it. Um, but yeah, it's a great event. We had a number of what was really cool is as soon as we announced it, we started booking tables. I don't know how many tables we already have booked, but it was immediate. And we were getting messages and people checking on things. So it's growing. I know last time we ended up with, I think, 18 tables set up. We had 21 booked, and I think we ended up with 18 tables set up. And we've got plans this time to get it more towards 25.
Awesome. Yes, I need to get with JT and book my table
Yeah.
because that is a. I love that. I love the picture that y'all chose for the cover for the market, just because I see so many familiar faces and
Yeah.
just friends in the hobby, and it's very like I see John there, and it's just a very
Yep.
the for those of you who have not been or have not been to a fish swap, they are an absolute blast. You meet so
Yeah.
many people. Even if you don't buy anything, stop by and hang out because it's so much fun just to talk fish with people. It's like a club meeting, but there's
It's more fun.
hundreds there's
Yeah.
hundreds of fish and plants and shrimp and just everything aquarium related.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The last one I definitely got to enjoy. Um, the first one was really crazy. We had no idea what we were doing. We didn't know what to expect, and it was so busy. Many of us felt overwhelmed with the first one, which led us to prepare for the October. And we had enough volunteers that I really got to enjoy the October one
Mhm.
last fall. And then this past April, the most recent one that we had, I took on some new responsibilities with the silent auction, and everything went well with that. And I got to enjoy that. I got to interact with people more so than previously. I'd been at the front and just getting people in the door, and everybody at the door is in a hurry to get in, so I didn't get to talk long. Sometimes people would come back through and talk with me when they saw that I had a moment when I didn't have somebody waiting. But when I was doing the auction, I got to have a lot more fun. So I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to do that again. We'll see. Fish Fam link is here, and I wanted to take a moment to say
Yeah.
check out fishfam.link for all of your aquarium YouTube channels. You'll find their videos and live streams there.
Mhm.
It's a great resource for the community, and you can look into how you can support them. Also, I don't think we did this in the beginning. So those of you who are on the replay, thank
Yeah.
you. We skipped you at the beginning because we know you're listening still. You're still with us or watching. Maybe you watch, but I mostly listen when I'm doing replays.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I do a lot of podcasts, so I just get into I listen to people talk and I
Mhm.
enjoy that, especially when I'm working on the tanks. Anytime I'm working on the tanks, something fish related is
Yep.
playing right there. Thank you to the wonderful Zinni for posting the Fish Fam link site.
Yes.
Fantastic resources, as Mitch was saying.
Nancy B says ponds have been fun this year, tadpoles and all. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
tadpoles this year. Or I've seen a lot of people with tadpoles. I haven't noticed any in my pond, but I really do need to clean my pond out. I have some light colored gravel in the bottom so I can see into it a little bit easier. It's not so white
Mm.
this year, not so light.
Yeah, Nancy's also saying it's her first year doing fish outside. So far, so good. The toads and frogs keep egging it up. Yeah, so this is also my first year doing fish outside, and it's been fun. So I mean, I've only been doing it for 3 weeks, maybe
Yeah.
no, oh, actually a month in a couple days, and it's been fun. It's been really easy. I've been surprised at how just
Yeah.
no. I mean, I set it up, and basically me setting it up was throwing a ton of Java moss
Yeah.
and water sprite and random plant trimmings into one of the big tubs, the planters,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, all my rainbow fish fry showed up, and I was like, "Nice! Now we got it running." And I've not
Yeah.
fed anything; they all eat the little microfauna and bugs
Yeah.
that fall in, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I do feed mine occasionally just because I want to make sure I'm getting some things in their diet. But for the
Yeah.
most part, it's not an everyday thing.
Hmm.
And the population's already exploded. I just put out a video earlier this week. I guess that was yesterday. That was about the pond, and you can see all the, or you can't see all, but you can see a lot of fry in that pond, and it's
That's
really
awesome.
impressive to me how many fry are in there because like you said, I'm like a month into it. I started late. I didn't put any fish out there until late in June. And yeah, I've already got fry, which I put swordtails, which was what the last video was about. I put
Yeah.
swordtails out there, and they are looking great.
Yeah, there's just something about the colors that fish
Mhm.
get when they're in natural sunlight. It's phenomenal. I did something fun the other night. I had a female guppy who was just looking massive. And I was like, you know what? I've got a 5 gallon bucket. I filled it up with tank water and I took her and put her outside. The
Yeah,
next morning, 20 fry showed up.
yeah,
So I scooped her out, put her back in the tank, and now I'm just going to let them. I threw a bunch of guppy grass in there. I'm going to let them
yeah.
grow out for a bit. It's such an easy, if you're in a climate where you can do this year round, I
That'd be awesome.
highly envy you
Yeah, like
because,
Florida. I guess
oh
Florida's
man,
probably the only place they can do it year round here.
yeah, maybe
I
lower.
mean, they still get down. Well, I doubt their water would get down in the 50s, and that's kind of like the cutoff.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking into, some of the colder water, because some of the fish we keep in our tanks can go
Yeah,
pretty low. I was listening to a podcast with this guy who he does a lot of outdoor tubs, and he kept swordtails when the water got down to 40 degrees. Of
ooh,
course, they were pretty lethargic, and he didn't even
yeah,
realize they were still in there. And he took them and put them in a tank. As soon as they warmed up, I mean, they were just darting around
wow,
everywhere. So it's
that's
really
cool.
freshwater fish are extremely adaptable, and it's a very
Yeah.
awesome thing to be able to experience.
Yeah, my Nancy B says that she's trying to keep hers out year round, and that's why she shows specific fish for that reason. And I've thought this year I thought about doing. Isn't it rice fish will stay year round in our climate? Um,
Yeah, I think
I
Nancy,
think
that's
so.
what you're keeping, right?
But I
Yeah,
was thinking about doing those, but I've been playing with the pond so much that I put it off and just ended up moving some of my stuff out there because I've been working on that bog.
yeah, that bog is very cool. Yeah, I'm seeing seriously fish is saying. Oh, let me scroll down. I clicked on the link.
What is it? Oh, I
I
noticed
was
Steady Nana came in. So hello, good evening.
welcome, welcome.
And Coral Works. Or was Coral Works here earlier? Honestly, I could probably go through and name everybody again because I was doing something when you were reading names. So don't mind me. You all might have been here the whole time. I apologize. Yeah, Madaka should be able to handle the hot and cold temps. Also, put some of my shiner fry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those shiner will do really well. Yeah, I've seen some reports saying down to 37 degrees for the
Hmm.
Madakas, which is pretty cold.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got Basement Aquatics with Dave. Good to see you, Dave. Hope you're
What's
doing
up,
well.
Dave?
I know we were messaging back and forth a little bit earlier. I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah. Good to see you here. You're up late. Oh, I was going to ask you. You were talking about what you threw in your pond. How's that moss
Yeah.
doing? I haven't put any moss out because most of my moss, I think, are cold. Like they prefer cold water. Anytime I've had them in a warm tank, they've always kind of melted back. So how's yours doing?
Yeah, so it's doing pretty well. Right now, though, the only thing is I'm also using the patio pond to soak driftwood.
Okay.
And I put a big piece of spiderwood in there. And spiderwood is definitely one of the, in my experience, it really gets that funky white biofilm on it.
Yeah. You know
And
what?
so right now, everything, a lot of the moss is covered in that like white biofilm, but it's still, I
Yep.
pull it out and it's looking really healthy and nice.
You know, I've got that large piece of driftwood that I got from JT back
Yeah.
in April, or was it October? It might have been a year ago. that kept floating every time I tried to put it in the tank. I've got that 50-gallon tub now. I
Yep.
should put that out there.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm doing, I've got a little patio deck thing that walks out from the basement, which is perfect. So I'm just all my 5 gallon buckets, any extras, I'm tossing all my driftwood in there and going ahead
Yeah.
and letting it really simmer and sink because I just don't. I'm not going to boil driftwood.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I've done that, and I did not like the results. It broke down my spiderwood for
Yeah,
sure.
I just
Um,
don't think. I don't think it's the
Dave,
right way to go about it, in my opinion. But it works for a lot of people.
yeah, and I picked up some books recently at one of the thrift stores, and
Hmm.
one of the things that's in that book is to boil driftwood, but it only says to do it for a very short amount of time. So I don't know. Uh, you know, uh, I've always heard that, and I did it with the first piece of driftwood that I put in the 75. But and I think I did it with the um, Malaysian driftwood, which
Hmm.
is broke down pretty quick too. I feel like it breaks it down quicker. Dave says he's lost a lot of fish today. I'm sorry to hear that, Dave.
Yeah, Dave and I were talking. He had a seal go bad
Hmm.
on his tanks. Came home and it was no longer full of water. That's definitely a heartbreaking
Oh
moment,
no.
um, especially when you lose some fish. So
Yeah. Yeah, his fish are in the basement, as his name says, basement aquatics.
yeah.
So he said the water damage wasn't a big deal, but a lot of dead fish. I'm sorry to hear that, Dave. I know
So
Dave loves his fish.
yeah, definitely. You can
Well,
definitely tell when somebody is a passionate fish keeper when their first
mhm,
reaction isn't "Oh no, water's everywhere." It's "Oh no, my fish."
yeah.
I just think that's very very telling. So
Mhm,
very very sorry to hear that.
yep. Let me pull this back up here. So this
Yeah.
is the bog into the pond. You can't really see much with the pond this year. I've got a lot of floating plants on it because I put the swordtails in, and I just want
Hmm.
to make sure they don't jump out since they're new to it.
Yeah, that bog is looking really good.
Dude, that creeping Jenny, which is Ladella, is that how you say it?
Uh, golden
Lloydella,
Lidelia. Golden Lidelia. I don't know how to say
Ladelia.
it. That's just
Yeah,
it's like Lloyde.
it's
I
it's
can't spell.
Lloyd,
Lloydelia.
Lloydelia. Yeah,
But
Lloydelia.
which is always it surprised me that it's the same plant because I
Yeah,
thought Lodelia would be the scientific name, but it's not. The
yeah.
scientific name is Lysimachia pneumolaria.
I'm glad you said it, not me. Yeah.
So I
So
don't know.
we put that a few years back. I believe it was Mother's Day. We got my wife a very large planter, and one of the covers that we had in it was Creeping Jenny, and it worked its way out of that. Like before we even moved it it's in the front yard now, but before we even moved it, it worked its way out of the planter, and so now every year it comes up in one spot in our yard during the summer, and I pull it up and I put it in ponds, and it's already started converting. Like what's pouring over the side there has reached the pond, and so now I've got a large mass of roots starting to form into the pond, and it does a great
That's
job of sucking up nutrients, and it covers. As a matter of fact, it covered that entire planter when I first put it in there, and then when I got the new plants, I had to pull it out and rearrange it and move it.
that
And I
is
put some
awesome
in
though.
in the pond too.
I had actually we'd done the when we moved in here we did a little bit of landscaping and I bought creeping Jenny and now that
Yeah.
it's in the flower bed I'm just thinking that's probably going to end up in the patio pond. I'm going to put some of it in there.
Yes. And it will convert. So I had it hanging over into the pond last year from a planter, like not spilling over like this one, but just a planter over top of it. And the creeping Jenny worked its way down into the pond and built like a massive root system. It was bigger than any
Uh,
other plant I had in there. So it and it started converting to the water form underneath. So I had both the water form and the immersed form in that setup. So that's what I'm going for here. I'm trying to get both.
That is awesome. And I have to ask, is that Ludwigia Repens to the
So
left?
it is not. At least that's not what it was labeled at the store.
Okay.
What is the A word name for Scarlet Temple?
Oh, Alternanthera renekii.
Okay, it was Altananthera something. I believe it was
Interesting.
Renekii, but I could be wrong.
I believe.
And it was grown immersed. So when I got it, it was already immersed.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it.
And
Interesting.
that picture, it's in the shade of a blue umbrella. It's much more red than that picture makes it look.
That looks awesome. Yeah, I've grown some of it immersed, and it always, of course, I've always done it in a real high light immersed, so it stays like
Yeah.
pink. But that looks awesome.
Well, it is darker than that. Definitely is, or more red. That, like I said, there's a blue shade covering that, making it look purple. It's
Yeah.
not purple.
Huh.
And I may have another picture that I can
Yeah,
send.
that looks very good. I've also been having a very good time. I took all of my immersed plant tubs, and since it's summer, they're sitting
Yeah.
outside, and they are growing like crazy. I've been having some plants flower that I've never personally flowered before, and it's
Oh, that's
always
cool.
such a cool experience. One of them is Liliopsis brasiliensis. It's like a
Okay.
micro. It looks very similar to micro sword, but it's flowering. It has these little white dainty flowers that warm my heart.
Yeah. Well, my Anubias is flowering again. I noticed today on
Nice.
75. So
I
that
always
means
think
it's happy,
Anubius.
even though it's got little holes in it.
Hmm, I
I
always think
to,
Anubius looks like a peace lily when it
it
flowers.
does. It is. It's an aquatic peace lily. Yeah, Nancy B, it'll do amazing. She says she's got it floating, but yeah, it will do great. And for you've got fish that are going to be spawning with eggs, it will work just like a mop. I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy how dense the roots get.
yeah. I know Nancy. Someone that I've talked with that does a lot of rice fish. They use water lettuce because the roots get so long and just trap. They spawn in the water lettuce. So they'll just take the water lettuce and put it in a different tub and then let all the fry show up.
Yeah, Zinni's got an alternative here. Um,
Alternanthera
Betzikiana.
Zikiana. Okay, that's okay. Yes, that's one of the ones I pulled up that kind of gets that darker green purplish color. And I know you
Uh,
said it's under that blue.
Yeah, I sent
The,
you a picture because I didn't want to try to load it in here again. But you can see here. Actually, I can probably put it up on the screen.
okay, yeah, that's definitely, uh,
Yeah, let's see
at
here.
least in my opinion, that's the
Oh,
Reneki
we're gonna
eye.
get. Yeah, it's much more red than that picture makes it look.
But
Um,
that Betzicania or Betziciniana is
yeah,
really cool. I would like to get that.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that one, especially for
Interesting.
the bog. Now the problem with the bog is everything will have to come out because it won't winter here.
Mm,
So I'll have to come up with a solution, which I have a few options already in mind. Just putting a plant light on them, and because that's a planter that I literally will just be able to bring the planter into the house. And I don't know if maybe I'm gonna try it. We'll see if I can on water changes put water in it.
yeah.
I'm hoping that'll work. We'll see. If it doesn't, they were like $3 plants. So
Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work. I think the only thing might be they might struggle without that sunlight.
well,
Would be my only.
I've got a spot. I'll get them some light. If I don't
There
put a
you go.
plant light on them,
Or you could move the entire patio pond.
no, that's not going to happen. I won't get that past. That won't that won't happen.
I tried to throw the idea around of we had at our old apartment we had this big open area right in the middle. I was like, you know what would look cool right there? A pond.
Yeah,
Let me put a pond inside immediately. No, I
yeah,
was like,
no.
I understand, but you know how cool it would be.
It would be. That noise, I love sitting out there. I'm working from home right now, and on at least one break during the day, I try to go out there and just the constant trickle of the water. Because currently, and I'm going to put it's in all of my videos, but I actually did some more recording today. But that little trickle is just the most relaxing thing. I love it. All right, let's look at a few other things because this is kind of our catch up, and we're already at nine.
Yeah.
We're already 30 minutes in, past 30 minutes in. Um, this is part of the
Ooh.
75 right now. I did
Yeah.
cut the valve back in the spring, and so you can see it's already grown over again. I am trying to get it to fill in that back corner a little bit more. But I also have that power head pointed there because one of the problems I've run into with the power head, this power head, I need to, because the tank is so planted, no matter where I point it, I'm hitting a plant. I really want to point it at an angle towards the front of the glass, but
Mm-hmm.
it just blasts those swords, and I end up with uh, Blackbeard all over them.
Oh yeah.
And the Val is doing better with the flow, but it's going straight across. Not really what I was going for. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do there. But there's no way with those tall plants. There's no way I can put that power head back there and it not do that. It's going to hit some. It's going to be pushing on
Mm-hmm.
something. So I've been trying to figure out what to do with that. I'd be interested in getting some ideas on that.
Yeah. In the 120, I've got a power head in there for extra flow, just because the rainbows like it. But
Yeah,
I'm actually going for the effect that you have here with the valve tilted over. Like Nancy B's saying, the movement it shows. I
yeah,
really want that kind of flow. The flow's pushing. You can see an obvious flow path. Is kind of what I
yeah.
was going for. But the swords definitely. I don't know if you'd want, like you said, you don't want that much flow on them. But I
They
use a
don't like
couple.
it.
I have had really good success with Hygrophila willow.
Hmm.
It's a thinner leaved Hygrophila, but it grows
Hmm.
really tall and really big. And I use a couple of those stems to
Hmm.
the break up a little bit of the power head flow, and it
Yeah.
seems to work pretty well.
Well, the power head is the Aquarium Co-op power head,
Hmm.
and I saw on or I heard on a recent live stream that Corey's working on an upgrade. I know at one point they were talking about add-ons to the power head to where you could
Hmm.
use the power head you have, but I have looked at maybe putting one of those adjustable flow arms. You know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say?
Hmm.
On it so that I can adjust the direction because it really only goes one direction. And because it's on a sponge filter in the corner, um, it falls. It'd be easy for it to fall over because of the flow. And that's another thing that hopefully there's some kind of flow adjuster added to it. But I do have, and I don't know that I'll like the look of it, but I have it from the Amazon Vine program. I do have. It's not a wave maker because that is a brand, I believe, but it is a fan like that I could put in the front to also get
Hmm.
some flow up there. But I would see it like it would be close to the front of the tank. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I could put it just in front of the swords and angle it, but yeah, I don't know. But the Nano Petite is right here in the middle
Hmm.
with the covering that wood now grown in very thick.
It looks
I'm
nice.
Yeah, I'm about to start cutting some off of it so that I can share a little bit because that stuff's it's slow to grow, so it's hard to share much of it, but it's doing
Yes.
good.
It's probably one of the more sought after Anubias just because of
Yeah.
that small leaf size, and they're very stunning, especially in a small aquascape. You can really get that,
Yeah.
large, make the tank look huge. I don't know if it's an option, but do you have any smaller power heads that may not, put out as much flow?
I don't, and I could probably get something. I've just stuck with this one because it fits on that sponge filter, and that's kind of what I was going for. So I really like that part of it. Um, if I could, and I've measured it, I don't have it in front of me. I've measured the openings so that I could see. There was a flow arm. I don't know what else to call it that I believe would fit it on Amazon that I've thought about trying. And it had an adjuster, like a just a little valve that you could turn the flow down. And I also have not clipped those Amazon swords that are growing off that spike on this top right hand corner. This bushy thing just kind of floating at the top. That's a
Oh,
sword.
okay, that looks awesome.
Yeah, so I have 5 swords on that spike, and one of them still doesn't have roots. And I'm waiting, and it's in the middle. So I'm waiting on it to grow roots before I cut it. All the others, like that one right there, that's really clear to see because of its location, it's got a huge root system coming off of it. But yeah, this one does not. And I
Okay,
don't
yeah,
want to clip it till it does.
I see the spike now. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know I thought that was some hydrophila floating around. But
Nope, it's an Amazon sword.
I have never, of course, I've been very unkind to my Amazon swords, but
You have to.
I have never gotten a spike.
You have to abuse Amazon swords because you can't feed them enough. You have to hold back a little bit, and you just have to put them in a corner and forget about them. And that's just what they are. I've tried feeding them, uh, enough root tabs, and I can never give them enough root tabs. They just get bigger. So I don't do that anymore, and I cut off fewer leaves now. I mean, I do feed them. I just don't put the extras that I was.
Yeah.
Which mine are already big. Those are already big. So
Yeah,
if they were small, it'd
those
be
are
different.
real good size. I'm thinking that the 55 is going to become my large plant
Yeah,
tank. I've got some Aponogetans and my swords in there, and I'm hoping they fill in really well.
yeah. Everybody's talking about zebras in California and sugar gliders now. We've lost them. This
Guys,
is the other.
this is an aquarium live
Yeah,
stream.
yeah. We're trying our best to stay on topic. We're normally the ones off topic while y'all are talking fish in the chat. This is the other half of the 75, and you can see the Anubias there. Um,
Yeah.
the You can see it, but you probably don't know what it is. But in the middle of that is where the flower is. It's at the very top of the screen. When I took the picture, I didn't realize it was there, so I didn't try to frame it. But I have cut this Anubias, and it is 2 separate Anubias now, and doing all right.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the flower, and I am not able to.
Yeah, it's in the mid. Like you've got those 3 leaves that the bottoms are facing you. It's right above those.
Okay. Oh, I can see it. I see
Yeah,
it now.
I did. Like I said, I didn't get all of it. I cut it off. Uh,
Yeah, okay.
but yeah, it's doing good.
I
Everything's
see
doing
it
good.
now.
This is the sand side. This is the side for the quarries. I actually need to put some more sand in here. The way it's settled, it's a lot lower than the rest of the tank.
Is that some of the you gave me a piece of Anubius and it was a larger
That's it.
one of the large that's it? Okay.
Mhm.
I've got it in the 120 and it is getting massive leaves on it. And
Yep.
the quarries and the autocinculus will just lay on the leaves and it's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things to see.
Yeah. When I cut that piece off for you, I also cut off a piece for me, and so the little Anubias leaves are a new plant that's
Okay.
growing off of that. Because I did a little slice on it to see if I could get it to branch off, and it did.
Man, Anubius is one of the best plants. It's
Yeah.
indestructible.
Yeah, I've been playing around because I don't want to kill it because this is one of my very first plants that I kept successfully. But I want to do the little, because if you slice it just right with a sharp enough blade, you'll get a branch come off of it. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And so far it's worked. I'll probably do another one sometime soon. But I got to pull it out to do that just because it's so hard to get to it
I
without
am
breaking leaves.
I am much less careful with propagating anubias. I take it in my hands and just break
Break it.
it. Which
Yeah.
probably isn't it's anyone don't do that because you'll probably have bad results. But I don't I just I don't have the patience to go grab
Yeah.
something and cut it with. I see it and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty big piece. Let's break it.
Yeah. Now I have broken pieces off before, but I was specifically trying to get it to branch.
I see.
Because when I cut it one time, it started growing off the back of this wood. And if you look, it's about 4 inches off the back of that driftwood. And it's just roots going down into the sand
Yeah.
on that Anubias. So that's pretty cool. And the swords are doing great. This is the 25-gallon. Nothing really special about it. You can see down here on the bottom, my Sawasser tank is out of control, and I still have Java Fern in this one tank.
Nice. I'm very happy to see that. And that's some good looking Java fern too.
Yeah, it grows very slow, but it's not browning. But this is where the current Inler guppies from last year's pond are still housed, and I may be giving those to somebody coming up soon. Hey Rico, good to see you. And
Good to
Regina
see you,
Phalanges is
Rico.
here too. I'm not sure if she snuck in on
Yes.
us or not.
I don't I think we missed Regina, but welcome. Nancy's saying that she's been picking up some Anubias tissue cultures from Petco.
Yeah,
So for those of you who have a Petco near, I know I don't ever get fish from Petco, but the one near me has had Bucephalandra um, for like
the
eight
brown.
dollars, and they are massive.
Oh,
They're not.
really?
Yes, they're huge. I already have too much boost, but if you're
So
wanting
it's
to
not
get some and try, it's not a tissue culture.
okay. So it's in their tanks.
Well, it's in the if you go in and you see those horrendous beta cups, it's in the same area as
Oh, okay.
those. At least where I go.
Yeah.
Uh, that's
Fishy
where
on
we get.
Tanktix, welcome.
That's where we get our cat litter and cat
Yeah,
food. So I
I'll
always have
have
to
to
see the
check that
fish
out.
stuff when I'm in there.
Yeah, there's not one convenient to me, but I like to drop in there every now and then, especially since I'm not at work because I work on that end of town where
Mhm.
Petco is. Um, so right now I'm not down there at all, but I'd be interested in that. Of course, I got to get with you because you sold all of your Buse when you were in town last time. So
Yes,
hopefully you'll have some more and I can get some from you.
I have a lot.
Yeah, a lot. That's awesome. So, but this tank really not doing anything with it right now. There's still a lot of cories in it, and the blue diamond shrimp are in there. But I'm hoping to
Nice.
move those soon. This is the 20 long that we set up, and as you can see, I did lose most of the stem plants, but the crypts are doing amazing.
They are looking good. I like how that tank is looking.
Yeah, it's got a lot of duckweed over it right now, so it's looking very green, and it doesn't have the best light. I mean, it's a decent light. It's a higher light that I got through the Vine program, and it's it may be why my stems didn't make it, or it was also a new tank, so it could have been that too. I will eventually try to put stems in this again. Right now, I'm just kind of waiting it out, letting that soil get nice and um, enriched. I don't know how long that takes. Does it take a while, or you think it's probably good?
You use the Eco Complete on that,
I
right?
did. Yep.
I would say it's good.
Okay.
It doesn't take too long to get a little bit of nutrients built up in it. It's pretty quick.
Yeah. So we
Um,
have one. Is it an ocelot sword in there that's got the kind of red pattern on it, the red spots? I think that's what it was.
yes, I believe so. There's so many sword varieties.
Yeah.
That's one plant I'm really the like the red ocelot or ocelot.
Yeah.
It's
I
got
think that
the
was
the
it.
spots on it, kind of more rounded leaves.
Yeah, it's not growing very tall, but it's getting really thick back there in the back. But you can also see the betta. The what once was a white betta is starting to get red, more red on it. So we're about to have red, white, and blue with a pink undertones. It looks really cool.
Yeah, that's very pretty beta.
And I'm still very happy with how the gravel worked with the Eco Complete.
Hmm.
When and if the 75 gets an Eco Complete substrate, I'll probably do something similar just because I do like the gravel over the look of it. Like the look of the Eco Complete, I don't like it at all. But I keep thinking it'll be full of plants one of these days and I won't have to look at it. Zenny says, for anyone who's ever considered a pet goose, 1 out of 10 would not recommend. Yeah, I'd say that's probably accurate. Those things are mean.
Yeah,
And they have teeth on their tongue.
yes, I do not like geese. They
Nope.
scare me, and they're just really mean.
Yep. Amisa's talking about a pet raccoon. I had an uncle who raised a raccoon, and I mean, as tame as one could be. And I would not recommend keeping a raccoon, by the way. They're dangerous. But he was as tame as could be because he'd had him ever since. I mean, like they fed him milk in the beginning. He was a little bitty guy, and he would stand on my uncle's shoulders and just ride around on his back. um, yeah, like you'd find in a video game. Yeah, no pet goose, none at all. So that's the 20 long. That's what's going on with it. And then this is currently in my daughter's room, but this is where I hope to move those blue diamonds, and
Oh
try
yeah.
to try to take care of them. There's a little. It's only a 3 gallon, um, and right now the nutrients are a little high in it. I'm trying to bring it back down. There's nothing in it other than snails, so I've just been putting a little bit of food and fertilizer in it. And when I checked the nitrates, they were sky high because I was thinking about moving them. The nitrates sky high, and I was like, no, I'm not going to move them.
Mm.
I'll do a water change. I will do a water change this week, and then I'll see how it's doing. And that's it for me, I think. This looks familiar though.
Yes, that's the tank behind me. That's the 40. In need of a desperate cleaning of the glass because I when I set the tank up, I had the lights on manual, um,
Oh yeah.
and I forgot to put them back on their schedule for 2 days.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
So got a good bit, and also I use new substrate for the most part, so got a good bit of those diatoms. But you will see fish in there, and that is because the tank is on a sump, and I had all my biological media saved in the sump through the move, so that's why the fish went back in there. But it is a little difficult setting or trying to aquascape a tank when you have fish that need to go back in there
Yeah.
immediately. But that's where the 40 stands as of yesterday, and
Yeah, and keep
I
in mind because I know people have seen this 40 in the past. This is after just moving and then not being. I mean, like you said, you had to move fish into it.
mhm.
So this is like a fresh start for you in the 40. That's a lot of fun.
It is. It was a lot of fun. I did the scape in like 45 minutes, which surprised me. But I did a very simplistic one and wanted to really just focus on the plants. So pretty excited to see it grow in. There's a lot of plants you don't see in there, but I've also got in there some of my um, call it holy grail or wish list plants, like the crypt pink flamingo, the
Yeah.
pogostem and helfrey, a whole lot of boost on the rocks. Some of the aerial colin feather duster, and then in the back center, you've got a plant that I'd been searching for a decent deal on for a while, but it's the crypt tiger spiralis, which is
Oh, okay.
basically your crypt spiralis but red and has tiger stripes on it. So very excited about that. I've got some Pogostemon erectus in the right corner that you can't see right now, but Curtis gave me some of his, and that grew phenomenal for me. And what else is in there?
I think I had that melt on me.
Yeah, it surprised me. I took there was a ton of it in the 40 before I broke it down, and I took a bunch of those plants to a local store, and I asked them yesterday. I said, "Hey, how are the plants doing?" And they said the Erectus completely melted on them, and I was like, I don't know how,
Yeah.
but so I told him, I was like, I'll bring you some more the next time I have some. Um, but in the center of the tank, or left center, I'm really excited for it to grow in. But it's Crypt Aponegitofolia, which is a fairly uncommon crypt, but it looks just like Aponegitofolia it's ULV uvicellus. I can't remember the
Okay.
how to
I
say
don't
it,
know.
but it's a very cool crypt with ruffled leaves that gets massive. So the 40 is kind of my one of my display tanks that I'm excited for it to grow in, and I hope it does well.
Yeah, it will. It'll look great soon. I mean, it already. It just looks like a lot of fun right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely
The the
it's
spider wood, is that one piece, or what do you got? Like 50 pieces in there?
no. So that's actually I got this piece of driftwood at the ETAA spring swap, the very first swap that y'all had,
Yeah,
and Kane had it, and it was one real long piece, and I broke it. It hurt me to do it, but I broke it in half
it looks
so I
awesome.
can so I can fit it in the tank. But that's only two pieces.
Oh wow. Okay.
Normally, actually, I take that back. There's three pieces. The right hand corner is a third piece that's real small.
Okay, in the back.
Yeah, so normally I do like for the 120. There's like 15 pieces of driftwood glued
Yeah.
together. This one was pretty easy. That's why I think the scaping process was easier because I didn't have a ton of options with the driftwood I was using,
Hmm.
and I wanted to get it done. But I think I've tried to learn from some of my mistakes on the previous 40 setups
Yeah.
because I fit like 30, 40 different species of plants, and they just got way you couldn't tell what plant was where.
Yeah.
So I've tried to section them out a little bit better for
Yeah.
this
I've
go
tried to
around.
do that. I've tried to do that with the 75 instead of having things mingle together. I've tried to separate them out for the most part.
Mhm.
Oh, let me go back to it. The cardinal plant is it's on the left side of here. Let's see if it's in the other one. Yeah, so there's three. There's well, one of them you can't see, but there's three of them right here in the middle of this picture. It's doing pretty good. Doing a lot better than I was a little worried about it because I have so much problems with stems.
Mhm.
As you can see, my stems are very leggy in there, and I've been adjusting. I recently adjusted the aquarium co-op planted light, or the easy plant light. I've lowered the intensity because I was getting a lot of. Now I'm keep in mind June was crazy for me, and so I was not on my regular dosing schedule. So the tank was full of hair algae, and I've been cleaning it out. So I did turn the light down to see if that helps. But a little worried that it'll make those plants a little leggier. I mean, you can see right now they're not horrible, but I'm hoping to keep from that happening. But I got to get my dosing back on track. But yeah, that's where my tanks are. So right now, how many do you have set up?
I just have the four set up. We've
Okay.
got the beta tank set up. I've got the 40 set up. The 55 is set up and is just a smattering of different fish that I had that I moved with. A bunch of guppies, a bunch of basically a couple hundred guppies probably, and then all of the cories that I had in my two bristlenose.
Yeah.
And then I've got an 11-gallon setup, which is kind of my grow out for the epistogramma that I have and the 10 or 12 Schultze, the Venezuelan cories that I have.
Hmm.
And then let's see, and then the patio pond.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got set up now. And I've got plans. I'm going on vacation next week, and once I get back, there's a room. There's an actual room in the basement that's separated. That's closed. It's just a random room that's in the basement,
Yeah.
probably 100, maybe 150 square feet. That's where the rack is going.
Okay.
So I've been debating. I was like, you know what? I'm going to build a real nice rack out of wood, do it right, or not do it right, but do it that way. And then I got to looking, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to move out of here within a year, maybe two max.
Right.
So I started looking up, easy stands to build. I'm going to go the cinder block route.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are
And
real easy.
yeah, so that's the plan. I mean, it's going to be $100, maybe $200 max. I'll buy a little bit at a time. And the plan is I'm going to have like 9, 10 gallons, a 20 long, and maybe a 40. So when it's all said and done, I'll probably have 20 or so tanks. And I'm going to start the 55 and the 40 are going to be my more, display tanks where people are hanging out and you can see them. That room in there is going to be, I'm going to try and breed some Corys. I'm going to do some live bears, I think. I want to try and get my hands on some of the Montezuma swordtails.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about doing some killifish.
Okay.
So I'm still, if y'all are still here with us, throw some ideas out there because I'm still kind of trying to decide what to keep.
Yeah. Some suggestions on breeding projects specifically, right?
Yes. Yeah, breeding projects. So far, I've done Corys, I've done some guppies and other live bears, some crebensis. I want to get my crebensis breeding again. They've kind of stalled out on me since the move, and really before the move, I kind of the tanks took a back seat because we were focused on packing up everything. So pretty excited about that. I also want to try and maybe. I don't want to overextend myself too far, but there's so many options that it's really hard to decide. I would like to do some of the smaller rainbow fish species.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked at, are they called dwarf rainbow fish at one point at one of the local stores? And
You've got the dwarf neons, the praycocks.
yeah, I think that's what they were.
Yeah, those are really cool. They get like 3.5, maybe 4 inches. That's some of the ones I'm actually raising up fry of right now.
Yeah.
Those in Bosemani, they grow ridiculously slow. Like they're over a month old and they look like day one guppies.
Yeah. Oh wow, Zenny's got accidental baby hillstream loaches.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to have some hillstream loaches in the 75.
Yeah, hill streams are very cool. I've thought about maybe when we finally get into a permanent house of doing a river tank. Kind of, I really like the one that Rob Ziegler set up.
Yeah,
that tank looks. Oh my goodness, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah. And Zenny says it's in a goldfish tank. So, that's one of those fish where, I haven't heard of a lot of people breeding them, but in a colder tank, I think it could happen. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a cold tank, but a cooler tank. I don't know how happy they would be in the 75.
Yeah. I mean, if I was going to do them, I would just do it. We keep the house at like 70, 72.
Yeah.
I would just do them without a heater.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Regina Phalanges, thank you for the positive comment on the tanks. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We both, the month of June was crazy. So we're just trying to get them back in line and back where we want them. Tanner's moved his. So, I'm back to trying to focus on getting on a schedule again with mine. So, Chattanooga Ed, what's up, man? It's good to see you.
Hey, welcome. Yeah.
So I did want to say that at what month are we going into? August. At the August meeting of the ETAA, Tanner will be our presenter, right? That's August, right?
Yes, I forgot. That had slipped my mind. I
Your
have
face, I
already.
was like, oh man, I'm wrong.
Yes, I will be. This will be my second talk at the ETAA.
Yeah.
I think it'll be my fourth ever, no, fifth ever talk.
Yeah.
So pretty excited, very excited about that actually.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We just had oh, and that reminds me, I don't have the video out yet. Um, that reminds me that we had James from Fish Room Fever at the last
Yeah,
meeting, and he did a fantastic job. The ETAA or Facebook, we are on Facebook, but the ETA YouTube channel will have that video out soon because it's done. Well, it's not done; it's close to done. I had to have something out that day, and so it took precedent for the club, not for me. And I haven't been able to get to it this week, but I will get it out there soon. But yeah, I think that's it for us. Did you have anything else?
August, the first week in August, before the ETAA meeting, the Music City Aquarium Society, we took a month off because of the 4th of July,
Yep.
coincided with our normal meeting time. We will be having, not 100% confirmed yet, but a guy from one of the local stores here will be likely speaking on cichlids. So it'll
Oh,
be our
cool.
first cichlid talk at the club. Really excited about this. He breeds a ton of them. So that'll be awesome. And I've already started preparing for the talk
Yeah.
at the ETAA. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Good. Can't wait.
looking forward to it.
It'd be good just to see you again in town. It's been a little while.
It has. It's been crazy.
Yep. And then October will be here before we know it. For
Yes.
the swap. But check out fishfam.link for who all is live. I'm looking right now. There's a number of people live. So you don't have to leave live streaming right now. You're just not going to be able to hang out in this one because we're going to go for the evening. But thank you to everyone who's been here chatting up in the chat. And thank you for everyone who's participated. We'll try to have a topic ready for next week. Which will be a little bit different actually now that I think about it. But I'll be back next week. We'll see what's going on, and yeah, that's it for me. Until next time. Man, StreamYard